Today's video is brought to you by 8M Capsule. 8M Capsule, be part of internet history. Yes, people, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at Taylor's Marine Brew. So what's good, man?
All good, mate. All good.
Yeah, cool. So, look, quick question here. In your opinion, what is the one bit of advice you would say to someone starting off in the hobby? What should they be looking for in an aquarium?
Oh, good question. Understand water chemistry.
Yeah.
It's probably the best piece of advice I can give you to start with. Understand what your foundation elements are, your alkalinity, calcium, magnesium and what they do, and also your nitrate and your phosphate. If you can get your head around those elements, you'll set yourself up in good stead, really, to be fair.
Okay, so, a lot of customers would come in and say to you, yeah, I want an SPS tank, and they see a lot of people's amazing tanks on YouTube. What would you say to them? Where can they start off from? Do you think it's SPS or softies? What would you say?
I would start at the bottom, generally work with your softies, anything from your mushrooms to your zoanthids to any sort of bush corals, leather corals, cabbage corals, those sort of things. Get used to looking after something that's not yourself or others.
Yeah.
And just learn general husbandry practice, good little ethics, good little practices that you repeat either weekly, fortnightly, monthly, but keep it stable, keep it repetitive. Don't take an armchair approach at any point, and just make sure that you're proactive with the tank. It's supposed to be a hobby to enjoy, so enjoy it and just get good, sound, solid advice from people that you respect.
If you want to get advice from anybody in this hobby, you should check out their tank. So,
Yep.
What would you say to anyone that's got a nice tank and they're on these forums? What would you say to look out for, and what kind of advice would you say you should follow in relation to calcium, alkalinity, and all the other things? Let's talk about stability. Like, what is your opinion on following advice on stability?
About proof in the pudding, to be fair. So if you visit a friend or a friend's tank, and it speaks volumes in regards to general cleanliness, great vigour, great health, great growth. These guys have obviously spent a lot of time and effort putting in the hard work to get these tanks to where they are. They don't happen overnight. These are several months, several years worth of work. Again, good attention to detail, and generally just learning off each other as well. Sometimes you can get swamped with a lot of social media, forum-based, opinion-based concepts. Sometimes it's your friend or a local reefer or somebody that's in a local store like myself who have just got those little insights into understanding the simplicity. Because sometimes we are in an industry nowadays where a lot of technology is involved, and that can sometimes overwhelm the hobby. Sometimes it's just about getting the basics right, doing the things repetitively, and just generally monitoring, whether it be testing, whether it be water changes, whether it even be ICP in nowadays. So those things are really critical in regards to getting the best from your corals and your fish, to be honest.
Well, I know lighting is a favorite of yours, so break down what's par and per, because you break it down for me the other day, but I needed like a lab coat to actually understand what you were saying. So break it down for me.
To be honest with you, there's not a lot of difference in it. It's just the equation used generally to decipher the two, but they are very, very closely related. We don't use per so much as we do par, because par relates to the amount of photons that are being penetrated into the water column, which are then monitored by a probe or some form of device to determine how many micromoles are being produced in that particular area you're taking readings from. It's more of a case of trying to understand spectrum over par as well, because the spectrum blend is very important. You know, people talk about the lack of reds and greens in their so-called lighting schedules, where a full spectrum light is needed in order to produce the correct pigmentations, the correct growth rates, and general health within the corals, because certain zooxanthellae within the coral structure need certain spectrums of light. It's not just about blue. So it's more understanding spectrum against per, which will then help you understand what's best for your inhabitants for them to grow successfully.
Next question, still related to light. When starting off in the hobby, should someone invest in a decent light straight away, or get like a basic light and then just build up from there? What do you think?
Again, it's about budget. It's about what you could afford. If you've got the money to go all in with some of the premium guys, whether it be Ecotech, whether it be AI, Red Sea, even people like Capsule, there's a few good high brands out there that really do spend a lot of time in their R&D development to get you the quality that you pay for.
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to, for me, it's all about the quality. So if you get a good quality built light that guys have spent a lot of time investing in their R&D development in order to get what they feel based on the science as well as the data, in order to give you the lighting that our corals require, then therefore those guys for me are always going to be top of the list. Some of the other guys tend to sort of piggyback some of their R&D development and bring an imitation out, which may not quite cut it, but it might do it for a while. But I think this hobby is about progression, so you start sometimes again where the budget suits, and over time you build into the hobby. And if the funds are available, then yeah, great, let's go for the premium guys, because again, the proof's in the pudding. It's all about the quality.
Exactly. So before we go on, could you just show me an example of what kind of lights you'd recommend? Because I know you guys have some amazing AI lights.
So these are our AI lights. So we go from the Soul and the Prime up into the HD32 and then the Hydra 64. This is AI's new
so this is
version.
The big bad boy, yeah?
Yeah, so these guys have obviously been very prolific on the market, always done well.
Yeah.
And then we move over to...
So just to get this clear, people can come down to your shop and just speak to you about the right light, and you can just walk them through it step by step, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. And we can even preset the light for you before you go home.
Yeah.
And all you do is literally plug and play and away you go.
Okay, so we just spoke about the Hydra 16, the 32, and the 64. So let's talk about what I use on my tank. In my opinion, the boss daddy of lights at the moment, the Ecotech stuff. So let's have a look about the Ecotech, Darren.
Okay, so on the Ecotech range, we've got the XR15. These come in the blue, which is Ecotech's new baby, and the Pro still.
Yeah.
And then we also have the same again in the XR30. This one's the Pro, but also comes in a blue. And these are basically the new guys in town. These are the more pannular looking lights in regards to the more pucks that Ecotech used to promote.
So in regards to the old lights, because I'm running the G4 Pro at the moment, what are the benefits of doing or using this new design of lights, the new panel design?
Spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always been a big thing in regards to spread with LEDs. They don't quite give you that blanket formation like T5s and halides used to. But there was a lot, and still is to a degree, of shadowing in and around the rockscape and around the corals, whereas back in the day the T5s and the halides tend to give you a really good blanket covering of light, so therefore a lot of the tissue around used to utilise the photosynthesis that was being generated by the light. So hopefully moving forward, there's a lot of other manufacturers that are also looking at the way that they do their light, but Ecotech have probably changed it quite significantly from the days of, sort of say, 2 pucks to a now more pannular structure, which I believe is around about 4 times more LED diodes than there was previously in the G4. So therefore, turn that baby down a little bit more. She's got a lot of horsepower under the bonnet there, so you've got to be careful what you're doing there. But generally, no, like you, I am a Ecotech guy.
Yes,
I do like the guys. I like their R&D development and the way they move forward with the brand. So for me, it is Ecotech.
Ecotech, brilliant, brilliant. So big thank you to Darren. Yeah, thanks so much today. Like, it was just amazing. A lot of information there. What I'm trying to twist his arm to show you guys how to set up a marine tank from scratch, because he's got some little tricks up his sleeve, and I think a lot of people might benefit just from, you know, just seeing what Darren does when he sets up a tank, because he helped me with my TMC Reef Habitat 60, and this tank is doing amazingly. It's all thanks to this guy. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm in love with him, but he's a good guy. Yeah, so thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Yeah, keep the comments coming below, because, you know, we love it. Any questions for me, put them below, and guys, I'll see you next time.